Okay folks, let's address the elephant in the room. What kind of gamer would admit to never having played the NES growing up? I know that I have a problem, but hey, I'm doing something to catch up, and I hope you come along for the ride.
That launch title.
Ninja Turtles were huge in the 80s and 90s. They were everyone's favorite heroes. I mean, in the kids' world, they were bigger than the Beatles. Hell, they even tried to start their own band and had a tour and everything. And I am proud to say I was a listener of their great tunes like Pizza Power. Although, I think we could all agree that Splinter singing Skipping Stones is something the world could have lived without.
Oh, I mean, he sounds like a discount version of one of those generic heroes you get in action games nowadays. Sorry, let's get back to the review. Anyways, the Ninja Turtles had everything. They had their band, they had their show, they had movies, and of course, video games. So it was a really obvious pick for what my first review was gonna be. And today's review is on Ninja Turtles: The Manhattan Project.
So this is a typical beat-em-up style game. A attacks and B jumps. And as we all know, the jump kick is always the safest bet when it comes to these games. With the huge success of Turtles 2 the arcade, it was a really safe bet for them to release another game based on the same style of gameplay.
Now this game is a little bit harder to find in the wild, and the main reason is because it came out later in the NES's life cycle. By the time this game came out, the SNES was already out and people had gotten rid of their NESs, or a lot of them were just collecting dust in the closet like mine. But this game is really awesome. It's just too bad so many people missed out on it.
This game has pretty great graphics, but it was really pushing the NES to its limits. There's a ton of slowdown when there are too many people on the screen at once. This is made way worse in two-player mode. Did you notice that? The board follows the turtle wherever he jumps. You gotta love Nintendo logic. What do you think makes it do that in their world? I like to imagine that it's a little mouse inside who is a pilot and his only job in life is to follow that turtle around. Anyway, back to work. I love that it has so many different bad guys to fight. Although, with so many different colors for the bad guys, don't you think they could have gotten the colors on the masks right at the bottom of the screen? They all have orange masks. I mean, it looks like they're all Mikey. They could have fixed that. Or maybe they're just clones of Mikey. Maybe that's why Mikey's a little bit dumber than the rest. He's actually a clone!
Okay, let's forget the whole mask thing. Let's get back to the sprites. Now, this game has quite a few different colors for the bad guys. I know, they're all the same bad guy and it's just different colors. But let's cut the NES some slack. At least each one of these guys has different attack patterns and a lot of them have different styles of weapons. I think that's pretty impressive. Not to mention all the bosses. The bosses are huge and they have really cool graphics. I think it's a beautiful game.
This game is so much more fun in two-player mode. But did you notice that there's a mode A and a mode B? Mode A lets the players hit each other.
Why would they include that in the game? I mean, the game's not easy to begin with, and then you're gonna have your friend beating the shit out of you? That doesn't make the game more fun, it just makes it more complicated and frustrating. Why would you want the game to be harder than it is?
When it comes to difficulty, this game is pretty fair. But if you can get a friend to play with you, then do it. It's not the easiest game to play alone. Like these guys, they kick my ass every time I face them. I mean, their reach is clearly a lot longer than mine, so every time I get close enough to hit them, they knock me back. The hell is that? I mean, look at them. I mean, look at their hat. I bet you they went into that Mario game, killed those hard-shell turtle guys, and even took their shells for their hats.
Now the bosses are pretty cool. Like I said, their sprites are absolutely huge, and they also have a lot of detail included. They're quite a big challenge, especially when you're by yourself, but they're still hard even with a partner. That is until you learn their attack pattern. Then they get a little bit easy, kinda dull. Take this for example.
I'm fighting Bebop, and I've been fighting him forever. You jump out of the way, then you kick. You jump out of the way, then you kick. You jump out of the way, then you kick. Oh my god, how long does this take? Did I break the game? Why isn't he dying? Finally! Oh, it's time for another boss. Did he just overshoot the screen? I agree with you, Donnie. The fuck?
Okay, so the game does have a few flaws, but all in all, it's pretty great. We can't fault it for having a few mistakes. The system is quite old, and by this point, it was on its last strings. But come on, the music is really cool, the gameplay is a lot of fun, you get to play co-op with a friend on the couch, and come on, it's the Ninja Turtles, who doesn't want to play with them? I gotta be serious, if this is what the NES is gonna show me, I'm really excited to see what other games are out there for me to explore. I hope you stick around, because this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Does he really think that's what the NES has to offer? What a peasant. I'll let him think that a little longer. Then I'll show him what the NES is really about. Oh, shouldn't have had those jalapenos.